Welcome to day 6. Today we're going to be exploring mountain pose. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. I'm going to have to get right towards the back of my mat because I'm in quite a small space, but hopefully you can see. We're going to look at mountain pose because, as I think I've mentioned, it's the foundation of lots of yoga. And if you do nothing else, I think doing some practice of mountain pose, I like to think that it's improved my posture a little bit over the years because I'm a natural slouch and my shoulders are always falling forward, and it turns out that my bum is always kind of doing that, so mountain pose is a good way of working against that. So as I say, it's the foundation of other poses, and as we go on we're going to have a look at things like warriors and forward folds, so it's a really good idea to know where we're starting from. So when we stand in mountain pose, I'm going to come to the side. Actually, I'll show you the feet first. So we can either have our feet with the toes, big toes touching, and a little gap between the heels. But if that doesn't feel very secure, you can have your feet sort of hip distance apart, but try and have them pointing in the same direction. And when we're in mountain, remember, I think it was the other day I was talking about how I kind of stand quite slouchy. But when we're in mountain, we're thinking about tucking the pelvis under slightly, firming up the glutes, shoulders are back and down, and hands are open. So we're really thinking about trying to put attention into every part of us. So our feet are really grounded. We're pulling up through the kneecaps so you can feel your muscles engaged. That little tuck under with your pelvis. Take your shoulders round and back and down just so you can feel that. Open your hands, lifting up through the chest, and your head pulling up as though it's on a string. So we're not like that, but we're standing. So if I turn to the side, you can see, and this is what my annoying friend Alison stands like all the time because she's got really good posture. She doesn't do that with her hands though, that would be weird. So that's how we start in mountain pose. And sometimes in classes we start that way. You can bring your hands together and close your eyes and just feel how different that feels from just standing. It looks like just standing, but actually it's really active. So I'm just going to take a moment to remind myself of how that feels. And then I'm going to show you a couple of things that we can do from mountain. When I've got more space, which will be in a couple of days, then I'll show you some poses we can take from mountain that use a bit more space. But the first one that we use a lot is what we call extended mountain or volcano pose. So all we're doing then is we're raising up our arms. Can you see, as soon as I do that, my shoulders lift up. So I'm going to try and pull my shoulders back down. I'm still engaging everything, and I'm stretching up. And if you want to, you can have a bit of a back bend from there, pushing your hips forward and come back up. We can do some really nice side stretches from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of my right wrist in my left hand. Before I tip, I'm going to think about pulling up, and then I'm going to lean. So my arms are going to one side and my hips are going to the other. And you should feel a really good stretch down there. And then I'm going to come back and take that to the other side. So remember, we lift up and then we stretch over. And I'm going to lift up and I'm going to let that go. Let's do a bit of balance. So remember, we've already tried balancing mountain. Now, hands on hips, hands at your heart, hands can be up. So we're going to put our weight into our left foot, and we're just going to lift that right knee up. I'm going to put my hands to heart center, and you can just gently put them together, or you can push them together so you feel the elbows open up. And because I'm comfortable here, I'm going to reach for that knee I'm going to open it out to the side. And can you see how you start to tip? So you have to really focus on lifting up through that left leg. And then I'm going to bring that back and down. I'm going to do that on the other side. So I'm going to put my weight into my right leg and lift up the left. And then I'm going to open that one out. And remembering that you can always lean on something for balance. And then I'm going to come back and let go. I'm going to make today's video a bit short because they've all been longer than I intended, and as I said, we haven't got a massive amount of space here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my legs wider. They don't need to be super wide. I know you can't see my feet, but they're pointing straight forwards, and I'm going to think about tucking my pelvis under. Now, anybody that's worked with me in my NCT career will know that I used to talk to students a lot about power poses, which can be really nice before you have an interview or something that you're a bit nervous about, and star pose is a brilliant one. So my legs are wide, my pelvis is tucked under, and I'm just going to stretch, and I'm going to take up as much room as I can. Pull my shoulders back, lift my chest a little bit, and just take up all that space. Push down through your feet so you can feel your legs engaged. And let's just take 2 breaths here. And then I'm going to bring my hands together and I'm going to gently heel toe my feet in together. And then let's just take one more big stretch. So I'm going to take my arms down, bend, lift, and then I'm going to bring them back to heart center, and we say namaste. So thanks everyone, hope that was good, and tomorrow we'll be looking at warrior pose. See you soon.